Hey y'all, welcome to our Facebook Live from Rosetree Glass Studio in New Orleans. Thank y'all for coming. What I'm going to do with these Facebook Live series, is I'm going to do it like we do our Blow Your Own experiences. I'm going to introduce the equipment every time because I don't know who has been here before and who has not. So, and it'll get it in your head kind of what each of the pieces of equipment is. So, right off the bat, if it goes off, it's because there's so much volume of internet traffic now with everybody home. It's real hard to keep the signal. Please bear with us. I'm not a professional actor. I am a glass blower, and so we're doing the best we can here. And once we start, you can ask questions. Just let us know who you are and how old you are. If you're a youngin', the older folk, you don't have to. So just let us know you're out there. You know, give us a thumbs up, a heart, whatever you want to do, and we'll get going. We'll get going now. So we start with the furnace. Our furnace holds the molten glass. It has a big ceramic bowl inside called a crucible. And the crucible can hold, in my furnace, up to 400 pounds of molten glass. It is 2,050 degrees inside there, which is hotter than lava coming out of a volcano. Now just imagine how hot that it really is. So the clear glass stays in there. Once we get the glass on the pipe and start working, we use a reheating chamber. The reheating chamber is a little hotter than the actual furnace. It's running about 2,100, 2,200 degrees Fahrenheit. All my degrees will be in Fahrenheit. Sorry, Canada. So those are two of the major pieces of equipment we're using. The third piece of equipment is an annealer. And what the annealer does is it takes the piece when we're done and goes from working temperature down to room temperature. When we're done working on a piece, it's about 1,100 degrees or so. And the annealing oven is set at about 950. And when the piece is put into the annealing oven, at the end of the day, we put it on a turn down, which slowly cools the piece from 950 down to room temperature. If we just took the piece when you're done and left it out to cool on its own, it would crack going from hot to cold so fast. The main tool I'm going to be using is a blowpipe. The blowpipe is the same kind of tool that glass blowers have been using for over 2,000 years. Obviously, not stainless, rubber, and plastic, but the same methodologies. So, those are the main things that the tools and equipment that we're going to be using today. I'm going to try and explain things as we go. I'll try to answer your questions as we go. So, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of glass out of the furnace, and that's called a gather, because you're gathering the glass onto the pipe. This will be a 3-gather piece. So I'll go through the furnace 3 times. In between the second and third gather, I will add my color. And I'll explain all that when we get to that point. Good questions already?
Dave Maloney wants to know where you can get a shirt like that.
Dave Maloney, you can actually email me for that. Info at Dave Maloney. I do ship to Massachusetts. So in here.
All right.
Sorry about that. I think we're going to stay in one place instead of move around because the Wi-Fi is really dicey in here. So we're back. I'm going to go get some glass and I'll come over here and talk.
I can bring it over to you.
Okay.
Just not on the thing.
All right, so in here is our furnace. In here is the glass. You can see the rim of the bowl I was telling you about. And the glass has the consistency of honey. So it acts like honey. So if I stop turning, it'll drip, just like honey does. So I have to keep turning the pipe all the time. And then I'm going to come back over here. And I'm going to roll on this steel table. The steel table is called a marver. And I'm smoothing the glass out and evening then what I'm going to do is I'm going to blow my starter bubble in. And I'm going to blow it in there in a special way. It's called an air trap. So I'm going to blow into the pipe, put my finger on the end and trap the air inside, and watch what happens. So you can see the bubble inside. So you see the bubble, that's the inside of the glass, of that bubble now. So now I'm going to wait and let this, because I can't go right back in and get my second gather. If I got my second gather now on top of this, it would get this one really, really hot and it would be really floppy. And it'll be really hard to manage. So I'm going to let this cool off a little bit. And the way I know it's cool enough to go back and get another gather is the color. So right now it's kind of orangey. When it loses that color, then it's safe to go back in and get another layer on top. Is everybody out there?
Oh, they're watching.
Okay. Just didn't know. I have no questions yet. So you see it's starting to lose the color. It's more cherry red now than orange. So, what I'm making? I'm making a peacock vase. And it's a nice medium-sized vase, and it'll probably take me 20 minutes to a half hour to make. So we're here for a while. So just enjoy it. Put your feet up.
And ask any questions you may have.
That's Darcy behind the camera. All right, so I'm gonna get another gather, and I'm gonna put color on.
And yes, it is quite hot over there. So I'm just going to stay back here and let him do the hot work.
What? All right, so that's my second gather. So you see there's another layer of glass on top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it on the marble again, just even it off. And I'm going to roll it into these chips of colored glass. And you see how the colored chips of glass are sticking onto the piece. That's because the glass is so hot, the little chips of glass just stick to it. And then what I have to do is I have to heat it up. So I'm putting it in the reheating chamber, and I'm watching the chips. I'm going to put 2 layers of chips actually on this. I'm watching the chips, and I'm watching them heat up and melt into the clear glass. You see how they're melting into the glass? I'm going to put one more layer on. So that is all the color I'm going to put on this piece. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to I'm going to melt the chips into the glass, and then I'm going to start my decoration. I'm going to smooth this out. So you see the glass is still very soft. This is very, very hot. So if I stop, it'll droop. If I turn it over, it'll droop back. So I'm going to heat this back up. So every time the glass cools off while you're working, you can go in the reheating chamber and heat it back up and work some more on it. peacock vases, it's a technique called feathering. So feathering, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an ice pick and drag it across the glass, and it's across the colored glass, and it makes kind of stripes on it.
How heavy is that pipe, and how do you keep rolling it all the time?
The pipe, who asked?
That is Christine.
Hi, Christine. The pipe right now, I'm able to balance it with my hand right about in the middle. Once I get more glass on the end, it starts to get really heavier, seem a lot heavier. So right now there's about 3 or 4 pounds of glass on the end, but once I get another layer on top, it'll seem heavier because I can't hold it closer to the glass to even it out.
Angela wants to know what the material the table is made of that you roll the molten glass on.
The material is actually, mine is steel. It's actually steel from a boat. We have boat yards here, so it's cut off from a boat yard. So these are like big kind of barges and battleship kind of steel. And then the second part of the feathering. Fall on its own, and I'm using that to my advantage.
Why are you removing that?
I am blind. So you see, I don't know how close you can get. Getting close?
Yeah.
So you can see the stripes and lines in the piece. And once I blow that out, you'll be able to see that a whole lot more. So I'm going to heat this back up and smooth those lines out. The reason I have to keep smoothing it out is if I go back and put another gather over top, if there's a depression in it from the lines, when I go into the glass furnace, the glass will trap a bubble in there.
Esther, who is 10, wants to know, are there any protocols that you have to follow?
Protocols for making, hi Esther, protocols for making the glass, just to be careful, to follow the rules. I mean, each shop has its own rules, and you kind of have to follow the rules so you can stay safe, because you're working with something that's very, 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 very hot. So really, that's what you have to do. Be a rule follower. So now I'm going to expand that bubble a little bit more. Same way with that air trap. I'm going to heat it up one more time and smooth it out one more time. So now it's smoothed out, and the color and the decoration is on. I know there's a bubble inside, and we have to wait. The reason being, same as before, if I go in the furnace right now and put another layer of hot glass on top, this glass will get too hot and it'll get really, 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 really floppy. So I'm looking at the end of my pipe here, which is really, really orange. I'm going to wait for that to go down to like a cherry red, and that'll tell me the temperature is right. So, does anybody have any other questions while we're waiting?
They are fascinated.
Or you could just, if you want to, kind of let us know where you're from. You can type in just your name and where you're watching from. It'd be interesting to see how far this actually reaches. So I'm waiting. We have to wait in between.
Cheryl said she can't wait for our Saturday sessions to start back again, so she can
Cheryl,
make something.
you and all of us here. We miss that. We miss the human contact. Humans are such a social animal, and nowadays it's hard being social.
We've got people from New Orleans itself, Metairie, reaching out. Ooh, we've got Kim from Houston.
Oh, I know who Kim from Houston is.
We've got Tara from St. Louis.
Wonderful.
Ooh, Barry in New York City.
I know Barry in New York City.
We got Christine in Round Lake, Illinois. She's been to our studio twice.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. All right, so you see the color is gone. So I'm going to go get another gather. I'm going over to my workbench, and most of the work now will be done between the workbench and the reheating chamber. So I'll be right back with another layer of glass.
We've got people from Brick, New Jersey, Jen and Jess. And Dave Maloney is in Boston. We've got Macomb, Mississippi, and Tampa, Florida. And of course, Gentilly and, well, Tish from 5 blocks down.
5 blocks away.
So I've got a couple questions.
Tish over at Delaware.
That's right. Don't give away the address.
Oh, I didn't give the last name or the number. All right, so this is called a wood block, and the wood block is a wood with the depression inside, and I'm using that to shape the glass. And what happens is the wood is soaked in water, and the glass doesn't burn. It actually rides on a layer of steam. So it helps me shape the glass the right shape for my vase. We have some questions.
Laura Fisher from New Orleans wants to know how many pounds of glass does it take to make what you're currently making?
Hi, Laura. Probably 5 or 6 pounds. So I'm reheating it one more. I keep going to reheat. I have to reheat to recharge it with heat so I can work it. So I'm going to shape it one more time with the wood block. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cool the bottom and blow a little in the top. So I'm doing the air trap again. You can see the top puffing out.
Oh, we've got a Haley is watching from McGuire Air Force Base in New Jersey.
Kaylee or
Haley.
Haley? Hi, Haley.
Vicky Stolberg told them to watch. Is that just water on the wood block? That's from Kimberly.
Yes, it's just water, and the block sits in the water, lives in the water, and so that way it's really soaked really well.
Oh, we also have Haley's teacher in New Jersey watching as well.
Oh, great. Welcome. I hope there are lots of teachers.
Hello, New Jersey.
Okay, so now I'm going to get a pair of tools that are called jacks. And what I'm going to do with the jacks, I am going to cut a line in the top of this bubble. So this line is really, really important because later on, the line will be where it breaks off the pipe and we can start working on the lip because that's going to be the lip of the piece. This is the foot of the piece. So again, I'm just using the table, the marver, to keep it in the right shape. piece up, and I'm going to blow into it, and by cooling spots of the glass, the bubble will blow out the hottest part. So if I cool the bottom, it blows out to the hottest, and it's all the same heat, it will blow out to the thickest. So this I'm going to blow more. So you see how the top blew out? Making sure that jack line is in there.
How many years have you been doing this trade? Cheryl is asking.
Hi Cheryl, I've been blowing glass about 42 years. I started when I was in undergraduate school. I've had my own studio since 1985. So I'm chilling that up again. Blowing some more. More chilling. A little more blowing. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, the lip, the shoulder are pretty much the shapes that size that I want. What I'm going to do is I heat up the bottom part, I'm going to swing it around and stretch out the body so it becomes taller. You see I have to constantly keep turning the pipe, keep it on center. So remember what shape it was when I put it into the reheating chamber. Now, I'm going to swing it around and watch the change of the shape. See how it got longer? So by swinging it around, it stretches it out and makes it longer. So because this is a vase that we make a lot, I'm going to make a measurement. So measurement looks good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat up. So now the lip, shoulder, and body are done. I have to shape the foot of the vase.
Can you give an update of what the final art piece will be? Angel just tuned in, so she wanted to know.
Oh, the final piece is called a Peacock Vase, and I guess what I should start doing with these, again, I'm sorry I'm not a professional videographer. What we'll start doing is we'll maybe put out a sample of the piece we're making so that you can kind of see what we're doing while we're doing it. Each time we do this, it should get a little better. I'm looking into microphones so that you can hear me better. So each time the Facebook Live should progress again. Technically better. But I'm not promising anything. So I'm elongating it a little bit more because I pushed in the bottom. I do want to say I will post the finished piece when it comes out of the annealing ovens the day after. And shameless plug here, they are for sale. The pieces are for sale. I'm doing it for this only. They're not for an order. So if you really like what you see and you want it, let me know. Just email us. So size is good. If you zoom in, you can see the stripes. Okay. Now I'm just cooling off the bottom a little bit. And what I'm going to be doing next is called a transfer. So I'm going to transfer, because right now the vase is stuck on the pipe. The lip of the vase is stuck here. I can't shape it. So what I'm going to do is get another little bit of glass on another rod, stick it on the bottom, cut it off on my jack line, which I did a while back, and then it'll transfer to the other pipe. Watch and see. So that goes there while I go and get the other rod.
Christine said she always wondered how those stripes were done, and now she gets to know.
There you go. Learning some of the trade secrets. All right, so there's a little bit of glass on the end. I'm shaping that. I'm going to get that just the right color. And I'll bring this over to my bench, and that stays right there. I'm using file that has diamond, little bits of diamond impregnated on it, so it's filled right in, and you're going to be right there. I'm putting it right in the middle on the bottom. Take that file, remember the jack line I cut into it? I am putting water on the jack line. And if everything is done correctly, when I tap this, it comes right off. So now,
Thanks, Vlad. Vlad says we can hear you well.
oh good, trying to project. So now what I'm doing is I gotta reheat the whole piece, build a little heat into the piece, and then I'm going to work on just shaping the lip, because the bottom, like you saw before, the bottom's already done. So now it's time to shape the lip. So I keep having to go in and doing what we call flashing. Flashing is quickly going in and hitting the whole piece with heat. Because if I let the whole piece lose heat, then it'll crack. It's going from hot to cold too fast, and it will crack off. So we got to keep a certain temperature in the whole piece while we're working.
How hot is the oven?
This reheating chamber is about 2,200 degrees Fahrenheit. So, you see the top of the vase is hot because of the color change. And now, I want to show you something that's kind of cool too. I could take some special scissors, and if the glass is hot enough, you can actually cut the glass. That's pretty cool. Okay, so now I have to heat that up because that rim where I just cut is cold. So I'm flashing the whole piece, coming back and just heating up the lip. That's the part we want to shape.
David wants to know, does the heat from the oven transfer up the rod that you hold while working with the glass?
A little bit. You can see where it changes color. Down here where the colors change, you don't want to touch down there. Just a little bit of special cloth and paper to shape the glass. Now I'm taking the jacks on the inside now, and I'm using that to spread the lip out of the piece. So do you see how the lip got wider and fatter? And then to finish it, I make a square on the top. So that's the last step. Alright, so I'm taking a tool made of graphite, and I'm just making the top into a square. One more time. I think that's about as square as it's going to get. It's kind of square.
I think it looks good.
Alright, so now the next step, the last thing is, if I put the punty on correctly, I'm going to be able to take it off of the punty, off of the rod, that's called punty. I'm going to take it off the rod, knock it off on a table, and then put it into the oven. So you can kind of see the stripes in the piece. And that's a peacock vase. So for the last step, take it over here, and if you put it on correctly, you just tap it, it comes right off. That's why you want to be very gentle while you're making the piece. Then I have a torch, and the torch just heats up and smooths out the jagged part of the glass that just broke off.
Vlad wants to know, when you started this in trade, how often did you touch hot stuff by mistake? His daughter wants to know.
You learn very quickly, but you forget sometimes, but you don't do it as often anymore. And that's a peacock vase. So, I love that y'all visited us and joined in. We're doing this every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 o'clock. So, tell your friends, tell your teachers, tell your family. We'd love to see lots of people all across the country, all across the world. I'm going to sit around. I'll sit here for a couple of minutes. If you have any other questions, we can go over. I know this is kind of a rough spell here. Just remember to love one another and take care of one another. Thanks for coming.
Rhonda wants to know how and when do you sign your pieces?
The pieces are signed after they come off and it cooled off. Because sometimes the piece has to be leveled, so we put them on a grinder that has diamond on that also. And so the pieces will be signed when they're absolutely finished.
Let's see. Kimberly wants to know, what's that last step? What kind of oven did you put it in and why?
Okay. The last step is the annealing oven. So if I just left it out on a table to cool on its own, it would go from hot to cold too fast. So what that oven is at about 950 degrees. The piece when I put it in was about 1100 or so. Once it cools up to 950 in the oven, I will cool it down very, 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 very slowly down to room temperature over about 16 hours. So that piece, we won't see that piece again for another 16 hours at least.
They want to know if they can see a sample of what it'll look like in the end. Do you want me to grab one?
Yeah, but I can't talk to them while you're going to grab one.
Make something up.
Make something up. Okay, Darcy's going to hurry up.
Talk about next Thursday.
Darcy's going to hurry up and go get another one off our shelves. Yeah, I really I love this idea. I was a teacher elementary school teacher. I taught art in elementary school for 5 years. It's actually where I met my wife. So the idea of teaching glass blowing through Facebook Live really, it was something I really felt strongly about. So there's a different color than we did, but this is a peacock vase. See the square top and the peacock decoration on it. So it's going to be very similar to this, but a different color.
All right.
That's it? No questions? All right, y'all. It's been great. Thanks so much.